Hey guys, back with another Battle Files video. I know this channel is somewhat dedicated to Battlefield, but let's just be honest, Battlefield hasn't been much to talk about, at least not to me, for about a year and some change now. I mean, I really just wasn't a fan of Battlefield 2042, and to be quite honest, I'm just not sure if EA hasn't totally fumbled this entire thing. Um, so obviously, I'm here because a lot of news is starting to pop up about the new Battlefield 6 title. I believe it's supposed to be launching sometime in the fall, around Halloween or before it. I'm pretty sure they're dodging Call of Duty, which would be smart. Um, And while what I've seen and what I've heard has been pretty good, I believe I even found myself not only watching a couple of leaked videos, obviously, but I also found myself commenting on uh, one of those. I think it may have been Jack Frags or Westy. They were talking about how people were kind of split, and mostly split from EA, about the idea of not having weapons locked to classes. And then, I put a comment in there saying, well, why don't they just make servers that let you do the guns locked and then the guns not locked? That way you can satisfy your own idea of what you think the audience will be, and you can also satisfy the needs, or rather the desires, of your classic, let's say, fan base. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, they do that. Now, I'm not saying I'm some kind of Nostradamus, or I predicted that would happen, or I put that on the ether and it popped up. But I'm glad they at least made that decision, and I think it's the right one, because some people do like Battlefield 2042, and they do like the idea of being able to pick whatever guns you want and use them whatever class you want. However, with the last thing they need is that hardcore fan base on day zero or even day one raising hell about something that really could have been fixed just by simply having an option, a switch that says weapons locked, weapons not locked. So good on EA and DICE and the rest of the teams that are working on this big Battlefield 6 project. Very smart idea. What I don't like, and what I don't think is a smart idea, and this is only a rumor, I don't know this to be a fact because I don't sit in the financial offices of EA. I don't really know what they're planning, but I have heard from numerous people who claim to be in the know and usually have pretty good information when it comes to certain details pertaining to Battlefield, even though they are not a part of the billion-dollar business, that EA's let's say higher ups, their suits, have set a goal for this game of 100 million players. Yeah, that's what concerns me. I'm concerned that as good as this Battlefield may be, and it's, from what I've seen, it's shaping up to be pretty daggone good, right? They're showing me the right things, right? To some extent, they're saying the right things. I'm concerned that we may be aiming way higher than we have any business doing when it comes to what this game can actually be. Now, let's lay everything out here about what we've heard, right? And this is all grain of salt stuff. Apparently, there's this big free-to-play battle royale mode that can also double, because the map's so big, it can also double as a what do you call that? A extraction mode, right? And that's supposed to be free. But then there's the Battlefield 6 game itself, which obviously somehow links to this game, and it's going to launch with, I'm assuming, at least 8 to 10 maps. I think the last I checked, it was 40 something weapons across all classes, maybe 50 something or so. At least that's what was in the alpha testing. Modern Warfare, no special gadgets or no hero classes like 2042. Gadgets are locked to classes, but guns weren't. Now there's again a switch that lets you choose between having that or not having that. And a story mode that recently had a trailer that dropped. As a matter of fact, I think I may use that trailer for this video. It's $80. At least that's the last I heard. We don't know for sure. We know the multiplayer is supposed to debut on the 31st. Hopefully I had this video up by then. But the word is that this game is $80. Let me tell you something. If somebody in the suit at EA has set this game's hard goal at 100 million players, and you're only launching on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, but console-wise, you're only launching on PlayStation and Xbox. Not that I think the Switch would have, especially the Switch 2, would have affected those numbers much at all. And you're talking about going against Fortnite, Call of Duty, which for 2/3 of those same platforms, right? They have a way of accessing it called Game Pass, which is going to cut off that whole barrier of entry, and that's going to fulfill, to whatever extent you think it might, because of the Beavis and Butthead skins and the American Dad skins, whatever, that's going to fulfill people's military shooter needs. Fortnite's not going away this fall. In fact, it'll probably get even bigger, right? Because that's all it does. It just grows like the Blob. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. Again, I'm older, but Google it. And then, here's the whammy. A game that's very similar to yours, that has some tropes that older Battlefield fans, didn't like about 2042 with the hero shooter aspect, but it's free to play. Has a battle royale, or at least, no, it doesn't have a battle royale. I think it has an extraction shooter. Has the maps, has the guns, has basically a bunch of modes very similar to Battlefield. That thing's free to play. That thing launches August 15th. So like maybe a month or two before Battlefield 6 does. And you set this lofty goal, allegedly, of 100 million players with an $80 price tag. I'm not trying to be a downer and say don't be excited for Battlefield, but man, I sincerely hope that goal is not real. I sincerely hope that somebody at EA and DICE is not so daggone brain dead that they think they're going to hit 100 million players, or that they're demanding even that this game hits 100 million players. There's no way in hell. Now, if they do it, I will come out and say, you know what, I was wrong. I admit it. As good as that Battlefield game was, and I love me some Battlefield, you can tell by the icon for the channel, right? Battlefield's my jam. I don't think it's good enough to topple Roblox, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Which is probably going to let people carry over all those stupid skins that the Call of Duty fan base seems to hate, even though every time I go in a match, I see those skins. So somebody's buying them. Somebody likes them. I don't see that game at $80 beating it. This looks like Concord all over again. Mind you, nowhere near the disaster Concord would be, but if you're setting your player goal at 100 million players, if the team has to hit that in order for them to be able to be allowed to continue with the project and consider the project success, you are setting yourselves up for a grand failure on an epic scale. And just like EA, you kind of screwed up BioWare, turned them into a shell of themselves, screwed up Command and Conquer and so many other beloved franchises by buying them and either doing nothing with them or buying them and doing everything absolutely wrong with them. You are going to kill this franchise. Titanfall says hi too, by the way. Like, please do not tell me that you're setting the goal for this game for 100 million. There's no way. There's no way you're hitting that number. No way. Man, I have really high hopes for this game, but I certainly hope these buffoons aren't thinking that that's going to fly, because it's not. Let's just be real, it's not. At any rate, I will be playing it when the open beta comes. You know, how about that for a Switch flip? I will be playing when the open beta comes. I cannot wait to play it. I think it will be a fun game. It looks awesome, but I am more than a little bit cautiously optimistic about the things I'm hearing going on in the background when it comes to this game. That can't be real, right? You guys have made what, 2 battle royals already? They both, well, you made a battle royale in 2042, came with an extraction shooter. They both sucked. Firestorm was not so bad, but that 2042 extraction stuff, I don't know what the hell kind of lines you were snorting the day you thought that was gonna be okay. So you know, ups and downs. Like I always say on my channel when it comes to my other content, we'll see. We will see. I'm praying that's not the case though, because that would be ridiculously stupid. More Battlefield content coming soon. Thank God. Looks like we'll actually have a game worth making content for, at least to me. And hopefully it actually gets to live for a pretty decent amount of time. Catch you in the next video. Later.